Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, June 10th, it's the 20th day of U.S. versus Sean Combs. We've been going at it hard for 19 days, and yesterday was no exception. The witness known as Jane, and there are a lot of issues around this kind of growing credibility gap between, not credibility gap, just a gap between the reporting inside and the reporting outside. In any event, Jane did finish past 5 p.m. her direct examination, culminating in a violent incident in their home, as it's described, in Los Angeles, with 4 doors kicked off, and they remain off, as well as Combs apparently still paying for the house and for her lawyer. I don't know what the implications are. I'm sure it'll come out on cross, which we'll be covering as best as we can, and we're also covering these ICE arrests, ICE protests, ICE arrests. Yesterday, as we left the courthouse, there were a series of arrests on the Foley Square side, and then there were, in the evening, on the Broadway side, further festivities. So today, there will be a press conference by Brad Lander. He's a candidate for mayor. He's the comptroller, about legal representation. Also, at 9:30, Pete Hegseth will be testifying in D.C., sure to be asked about the stated deployment of Marines. Now, I have a question. This is a crowdsourcing. Some publication this morning said that there was a deployment of Marines inside the United States in the 90s, more than 30 years ago, it said. So I don't know what that was. If anyone knows, hit me up on Twitter, probably would be best. That said, there will also be a Trump-Hegseth joint appearance at 4 p.m. So that will probably deal with Los Angeles and ICE, and we're all over that. That's something that we're covering extremely closely. Now, we cover the United Nations as best as we can. The only thing is that, based on detailed investigative reporting, and because they have no responsibilities under the First Amendment, they had Inner City Press banned from that place. So we keep reporting, and we've had law firms write to them to seek a dialogue on the First Amendment. They just don't even answer. So we have scoops. We've written the scoops of Volker Turk. We've written the scoops of the mission in Colombia. We've written any number of scoops. And we're just going to keep blasting away that and there. Now I'm coming up. I'm going to turn it around, actually. First time, I think, in this Diddy trial. So you can get a sense. This is now approaching from the Worst Street side, the Diddy scene. Now, there was a kind of a dismissive AFP article about streamers and influencers. I mean, I don't know. I think it's not the platform, it's not the equipment that you use, it's the information that you're putting out, and unless that AFP reporter actually checked out these things, it seemed a little bit self-serving. Anyway, now we're coming up. There have been days. The Kid Cudi day was huge out here. The Cassie day, it was huge. Could be also that it's the rain. You can see across the street there, the tents. The tents have stayed up at night, and it's interesting that some people actually take shelter under the tents. Hang on. Are we gonna? Hang on. We might have a. Uh-oh. There's a guy who's in front of 40 Foley that has a sign about his eviction, but tying it into a large conspiracy. In any event, you now have seen it. We're covering this case as fast as we can, and other things to be continued.